back to One Patriot. I am Libby Patriot, and I am joined by the amazing
Burning Spear Patriot. Thank you guys for joining us again. Back with another podcast. Hope you guys are doing well.
Yes. Before we get going, just a friendly reminder, subscribe to our channel, like this video, all the good things.
Hit that share button too. Share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it with your girlfriend, share it with your boyfriend, share it with your husband, share it with your wife, share it with your grandmother, and everyone that you love and hate. We want to build this channel. We want to get the channel built up to a level to where we can get our message out, and we really would appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so segueing into that, today's topic, the GOP, specifically the future of the GOP, the reformation and changes that we're seeing, and whether or not those changes will have will echo essentially what happened to the Whig Party. So yeah,
I mean,
kick it off with some thoughts on.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Like, you were talking to me last night about the Whig Party and telling me the history of it. I always knew about the Whig Party, but I didn't know what they were about. I just knew they were like old white men that wore these funny looking wigs. And like the Whig Party.
In fact, they didn't really wear wigs.
Oh, they didn't?
Mm-mm. No.
Really?
Yeah.
That was their real hair?
Well, okay, they did wear wigs occasionally, but it wasn't like a...
Oh.
That's not why they were called.
Oh, okay.
Party, yeah.
Because I know that whole tradition stems back to Great Britain.
Yeah.
The wigs.
Yeah.
And like it's like a European like tradition that was
carried
across the sea, and it's like a political like people in high stature or people in high political stature or political positions wore these wigs, and I thought there was like a correlation between the Whig Party. That shows you how ignorant I am, because like all of them wore wigs, like
for a good chunk of time, and then they started bringing that back in, and then around this time, I think at this point, I don't know, I could have this bit wrong, but I think wigs had kind of gone out of fashion at this point.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but it all kind of started, I guess I could dive in a little bit there on the Whig Party.
Yeah.
Essentially what happened was everyone is quick to say like, oh, it's... Okay.
Sorry for the echo. If there's an echo in the beginning of the video.
Yeah. We're still learning. Learning our audio. Okay, so President Polk. Actually, backtrack a little bit. So everyone thinks the Whig Party was all about... It all crumbled because of slavery, right? Which is partially true, but it stems from President Polk sent troops to the Rio Grande in order to prompt Mexico to attack and kind of engage in a war so that he could get a peace treaty and accomplish his like 3 goals for presidency, right? Like that was he wanted to claim these territories, create new boundaries, create new states,
new borders and everything.
Yeah.
So he wanted to take the land that the Mexicans had at that point. So he went to engage. He wanted to.
There was a dispute about where the border was.
Oh, okay.
So that was the issue. So, very long story short, we go to war. The treaty is accomplished. But the Whig Party was very upset about the war. Like they were like, "What is this? They all protested the war."
Mm-hmm.
And then once it was over, they were all just kind of like, "All right, well, let's just move on from it." But they couldn't really, because now that there were new territories, Polk pieced out. He didn't want to go to another election, and so it was like, well, what about slave? Are these slave states? Are these free territories?
Yeah, because they're new territories that the United States have just acquired.
Mm-hmm. And so that was like
A debate.
But it wasn't a debate that anybody really wanted to dive into too much, because it was like they wanted to focus on like Jackson era stuff that was moot. Like this was a much bigger issue. Yeah. So, essentially what happened was the North Whigs and the South Whigs couldn't come to agreement. And it basically just imploded on itself, like essentially overnight. The party just couldn't maintain. Lincoln was a Whig. From that, okay, so there was that, and then in the election of 1848, Zachary Taylor was running, but he wasn't a strong candidate.
Is he in the Whig Party? He was from the Whig Party too?
Yeah. Okay. And he ended up dying. So that was extra chaos and turmoil. But in this, a previous president, Van Buren, had basically was like trying to get the Democratic Party to be anti-slavery. It wasn't happening. So he left, he peaced out, and he founded the what was it? The Free Soil Party to ensure slavery didn't happen. Like they wanted to abolish slavery because it was the peak of the Underground Railroad. All this stuff was happening. So from that, the Free Soil Party, the remnants of the Whig Party formed the Republican Party. Okay. Which is then Lincoln steps in, this unknown politician comes in, abolishes slavery. And
he's a lawyer, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of where that was. So the question is now, we're seeing all these shifts in the Republican Party. There are, I'm going to call them America First. I was going to say Trump Republicans, but really I think it's more America First. There are some Trump Republicans.
So is it your opinion that we are experiencing like another Whig Party kind of scenario where we have two factions of the Republican Party? You got the old establishment Republicans, neocon type of people that are opposed to the Trump populist conservatives, and they're having a clash right now. And now we're witnessing what it seems to me, the establishment neocon Republicans are either being ousted or they are being forced to assimilate to the Trump or America First, as you like to say, populist conservative version of Republicans.
Yeah. So there's a lot of parallels there. It's of course not an identical situation, but the overall feel of it, where there is this divide. You could honestly say the same for
the Democrats. Oh yeah, you can definitely say the same for Democrats. And they're having a tough time right now keeping it all in check. The thing is that they're not. I feel like the Republican Party, there's a difference because they are. I feel like they are more united in a way. Yeah. If it's for just 2022 and then they go back to their old ways, then that's another topic. But I think for 2022, they are united, like as united as they can be, and they are because they want to win.
Sorry, Republicans or Democrats?
Republicans.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they are united. They have made a decision. Okay, we're gonna rock with Trump at least up to 2022. Now, what happens in 2024? I don't know, because I do not trust the Republicans. No. They probably will use Trump to get 2022 secured, and then after that, they're just like,
him. They're not gonna. Yeah, they're gonna use him like they've done in the past.
Right.
They're gonna use his endorsements,
right.
which he needs to be super smart about.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's something you talk about all
Yeah,
the time.
and
like,
this is why I say, and this is why I'm of the opinion that I don't know if Trump should run or not. I think he's more effective being a kingmaker, and he can dictate the party from that kingmaker status.
right.
He is always going to have a great influence on the Republican Party, and they are always going to have to go his way. But when he is president, I think he's a little bit more vulnerable because he is going to be put in a position to where he is essentially going to make the Democrats stronger, while he'll make the Republican strong, but he's going to take the Democrats out of the position of being in the defensive. Like what talked about last night. The media is going to have a boogeyman. The Democrats are going to have a boogeyman. Their ratings in the media are going to go skyrocket because Trump is going to be in the spotlight right now. Their ratings right now are plummeting. Their ratings right now are just going to astronomical lows.
Even what's being reported, I think, is a lie, first of all.
Right.
I think it's even lower than what's being
documented. Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, their ratings are being, CNN is like imploding right now, and they're having to lay off a bunch of people. Don Lemon just lost his show, and I think maybe Brian Stelter is probably going to be next on the chopping block. Yeah, exactly. Like, oh wow, shucks, darn.
Yeah, what a shame.
So without Trump, they are nothing. Without Trump, they are nothing. So I say, Trump. I know you're not going to watch our little podcast, but you are way more effective as a kingmaker. You can dictate, you can be just as powerful and more untouchable as a person who can dictate the party, because if you have the people, we are behind you 100%. If you can stay in that kingmaker position, pushing forward politicians in the GOP, within the GOP, that have an America First agenda, you will be much more effective than you are as president. Because as president, you're not gonna have time to guide the party like you want to. You're gonna be worried about your executive position, doing things from that executive position instead of being able to lead the party and being able to coach. He's better as a head coach than as a player.
Yeah.
Like, he's better as a general manager than as a player. Being a player, you can do, there's a lot you can do like on the court, but at the same time, you are not able to dictate the whole, team the way a head coach can or the way a general manager can.
Yeah.
So I say,
trying to carry everyone else along as you play.
Yeah, trying to carry you're on the court. You can't you don't have as much pull as you do. I mean, as president, but like
I feel he loves it. That's the issue, though. He loves
the attention, and that's the thing why I think he's gonna run. And like, if he does run, I will support him. But I will support him if he gets the nomination from the GOP.
Yeah.
But like I said, if I have a choice between Trump being a kingmaker and staying in that kingmaker position and having Ron DeSantis run as president, as opposed to Trump running for president, I'm going to pick Ron DeSantis as my presidential nominee for the GOP and have Trump still stay. If I have those two choices, I'm going to have Trump still stay a kingmaker. And that's just, where I'm coming from with it. I know a lot of Trump supporters might be like, oh, you're betraying Trump or you're turning your back. No, like, I feel like Trump is more effective than doing this. Like, look at the results.
You don't idolize Trump. Like, I think that's a common mistake that people who supported Trump, like, he's not my God. Like, I don't idolize him. I don't have loyalty to Trump. I have loyalty to America, populist agenda. Yeah. So the most effective way to get that done is the way I'm going to vote. And I agree with you at this point. If it is DeSantis, comes down between DeSantis and Trump, I'm also going to pick DeSantis.
Yeah, and
maybe
it's not
there's
because
some other player,
it's not because I believe DeSantis is has better policy or is a a better leader or anything. I think that Trump is such a lightning rod. He affects him being in the presidential. I'm thinking strategy here.
Yeah.
Him being in the presidential seat is something that will help the Democrats in a way. And I don't want to help the Democrats in any way.
Yep. I think that was a big part of the, last election was.
Yeah. It gave them
win. Because in what other world is Biden going to win?
Yes.
Other than orange man bad.
Right. Biden had no platform at all. They ran on an orange man bad and they cheated. They ran on an orange man bad platform. They did everything. The Time magazine said that they came with there was pretty much a coup.
Yeah.
They all came together. They all united. I don't want them to do that anymore.
No.
I don't want them. I want them to stay asleep.
Yeah.
Even to their
themselves.
Even to their own detriment. Like they were willing to destroy this country to get rid of Donald Trump.
Yep. Burn it to the ground.
They were ready. Yes, they literally burned the country to the ground.
Ready.
They are willing to do. I mean, now all the freaking idiots that voted for Biden are having voter remorse, and now they're like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" But at least we got the mean tweeter out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's.
Yep.
So this is where I want the GOP to go. I want the GOP to go into that direction. So
yeah, I think ideally yes, but so we do have these neocons. We've got Liz Cheney, Mitt Romney.
Mm-hmm.
There is a slew of about 100 Republicans that I don't know exactly who off the top of my head. I just know there was a list of 100 that signed a letter. Did you see that? Like saying we got to leave Trump behind and the GOP.
Oh
and
yeah.
It's
I mean, the GOP does not. Let's get this thing clear. When I say that they are united for the purpose of winning.
Yeah.
They are not united for the purpose of America first.
Yeah.
I say half of them are America first maybe, and the other half is just like, oh man, I wish we could go back to the old days, but I'm gonna lose political power if I don't get along with this. Yeah. If I don't go along with this America first agenda, because our party is Trump has a 97% approval rating within the party. Whatever he says goes.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to stay in my position as a political leader, then I need to get down with the America First agenda. I can't do these old establishment games anymore.
No, agreed. Okay. With that, though, so bringing it back to the Whig Party, do you think that the GOP is capable of coming to this compromise post-2022? And then follow up to that, post-2022, we can stay united, but then moving forward from that, like, the power is with Trump, America First, populist, like, that's where the people's minds are at.
Yeah.
New Republicans, young Republicans, that's where their mind's at.
Trump is the leader.
Yes, he is. And so I guess in my mind, I'm just like, Trump's already said he's not leaving the Republican Party. Right?
Yeah.
He's not going to start his own party. So from that, though, does that mean that, all these old establishment Republicans, are they going to try to branch off on their own? Or do you think they'll fall in line? Or do you think we're just going to replace them in 2022?
If these establishment Republicans, I don't care if it's 100 senators and 100 House member representatives, if they want to leave, let them go. Let them go. We do not need them. I hope they leave.
I agree.
I hope they leave. Like I'm glad. Like burn it all down and come start new. Like this, if the Republican Party is going to change, get McConnell the hell out of here. Get Kevin McCarthy the hell out of here. Get Lindsey Graham the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Get him gone. We need to be pushing people like Harley, Cruz, people like Tom Cotton, who is decent.
I'd
pe-
honestly be fine with losing Cruz. I've liked
Yeah.
him a little bit more, but yeah.
I mean, Cruz has, I say within the last 2 years, I've really come around to Cruz.
Yeah, he stepped it up.
He's stepped it up, and he's been a team player. Whether his ulterior motives is for something else, or whether he's genuine, like I can't put my finger on it, because he has started from a sleazy like politician beginnings, as far as, I mean, his policy. I've always loved his policy. I've always agreed with his policy, but I feel like he is an opportunist more than he is genuine. But
Definitely.
at the same time, I think the guy is smart. I would want him on my team. If we're gonna say, I would want him on my team rather than lose him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, every time I hear the man speak, I find myself agreeing with what he has to say. I find myself like, wow, he might be a sleazebag, but he is saying all the correct things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess Cruz, I'm like kind of on, but I do, like what he has said and where he has stood for these last 2 years.
Yeah.
Like I said, Harley. I'm missing some other people. MTG is a pretty popular.
Taylor Greene.
Yeah, she's a pretty popular politician.
And Laura Bobart.
Yes, those women, those type of women.
Last name. Right.
Yeah.
Kim Klacik.
She isn't in.
I know she's not in, but bring her in. Right?
Yes,
these are the
people that we should be
endorsing.
getting behind.
Yeah.
People who actually want to make a change. And I love the fact that she's running in a Democrat stronghold, and she's trying to change the direction that city is in, because that direction that they're in is catastrophic, and it only ends in failure.
Yep.
That is a failed state or a failed city. Baltimore, we have.
So sad.
Yeah, it's so sad. The kids can't even read at a decent grade level. They have no reading comprehension, no math skills. And majority of them are black and brown kids. And she wants to change that, and I totally applaud it.
And that's what we need. The culture of the Republican Party is changing. Yeah. It's not. It is coming back to the party of the people, which I love.
Yes.
I think that's so crucial to America's success. We need that. We haven't had that really. Democrats claimed it, but that's a bunch of hogwash.
They had it for a while because the Republicans got away from what they were supposed to be. They got away from 1984 Reagan, and they came into the George Hubert Walker Bush, and that changed everything. And they continued it on. I mean, when Clinton came in, he didn't run as I'm a super liberal Democrat. No, he ran as I'm running as a populist candidate. I'm getting those, and I'm collecting all of those Reagan Democrats, and I'm bringing them into the Democrat Party. And the blue collar people went into the election and they voted for Clinton, as opposed to voting for Bush again, because Bush was a failed president. So it is what it is. The party, what the Republicans need to worry about is getting the independents, getting the disenfranchised Democrats, getting the people who always seem to be left behind.
Yep.
Trump cleaned up on that in 2016. So that should be the focus right now.
Yeah. Gathering the the wandering and
Yeah.
lost and the
Because-
politically homeless.
Right. I mean, if you look at the Democrats, like the Biden administration has a 91% approval amongst Democrats. Biden has a 92% disapproval from the Republicans. Independents, they're pretty much 50-50 on the Biden administration.
Yeah. Well,
And it's a recent poll showed that it's going down. He has a 56 or no a 52
I thought it
disapproval rating right now,
okay, yeah.
and a 46 approval rating
For yeah.
Biden with amongst independents, and it's been gradually independents are gradually starting to be really disappointed in the Biden administration.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect opportunity for 2022 for the GOP. Like this is like easy. This is a
Prime
layup.
time. This
Layup.
is low hanging fruit.
Yes, this this should be a layup.
Yeah.
You know, which is and the Democrats know it, which is why they're doing all this radical shit right now.
Right, trying to.
Yeah.
So, I had a good. Oh shoot. Oh no, my point being, okay, so with that too, like, I feel like people are so quick to divide the country so easily into like Democrats and Republicans,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's not the bulk of America. The bulk of America are independents,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, just kind of piggybacking off what you were just saying, like, it's not just a few lingering. It's like I dare to say the majority of America are moderate independents.
Yeah,
so
moderate independent.
It's not just like a few numbers.
Yeah, they may register as Republican or they may register as Democrat, but their ideology is moderate, very moderate, in the middle, center, whether it's center left or center right. Those are the people that the politicians are fighting for each election. Because you're going to have your far left people. You're going to have your far right people. They're always going to be part of it. You have those in the bag. They are fighting for these moderates and these independents. That's what politicians are fighting for. So it comes down to what they want. They decide the election.
Yep,
So.
that's true. They're the momentum, the swing.
Mm-hmm.
I also just realized that I'm still registered as a Democrat.
Yeah.
For Bernie Sanders.
Mm-hmm. I'm not registered as anything.
Yeah, well, I used to be
I'm
independent,
an
but then I
independent,
wanted to be able to vote.
For the primaries?
In the primaries for Bernie.
Yeah.
Eons ago, it feels like now.
Yeah,
I need to update that.
Yeah, I mean, I
do I?
probably should. I probably should register as a Republican, since we're having a big thing going on right now with the RINOs and the fake Republicans that are ruining the party or making the party, I'm thinking about registering as a Republican, because I want to be more involved in local politics.
Right.
So being involved in local politics, it's better to be registered one way or the other.
Right.
So you can have a say in these primaries.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a say in, these Republican elections.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, and this is how you do it. You go for the America First candidate that is on the ballot. So, yeah.
Well, let's see. I'm excited for our local involvement. If you haven't watched it yet, go check out our last podcast about how we want to get involved in local politics.
Mm-hmm.
We think everybody should get involved in your communities. And then just quick high level close out. 1 minute, 2 minutes. What do you predict? We've said what we think could happen, what we want to happen. What do you think is going to happen?
as far as the GOP.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Donald Trump is going to run.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get the nomination. I think that the party is going to go through a complete shift to an America First, more populist agenda. And I think they're going to have to run Biden again.
I was just about to ask that. Do you think that that's who Trump... Yeah, because if he does...
And I think this
if
time...
they don't have a stronger candidate...
They can't run Kamala Harris. She has historical low approval rating.
Yeah. Well, what has she done? Nothing.
This is their whole thing. They wanted to try to get Kamala in there, so because they know Kamala is going to do whatever they say, and Kamala is like, she's like, they've been wanting Hillary in there for the longest, and Kamala is the next best thing. Mm-hmm. But the people don't like her.
No. The
people don't like Trump has people that don't like him, but Trump has people that love him.
Right.
You know. Kamala just doesn't. Kamala has people that hate her, and she has people that just tolerate her.
Yeah, people that were excited because,
right,
a woman of color was in office,
right.
But there's no loyalty beyond.
There's no
that.
loyalty to her. They're not going to be able to run her. 82-year-old Biden is going to probably have to run again, and is he going to be able to sustain the campaign?
Gonna be able to sustain this?
Yeah, I don't know. That is going to be, something that is
3.5 years.
Right.
And the thing is too, now Biden's exposed. People are seeing, the media is still trying to buffer a little bit, but there's no, like you're saying, the boogeyman, Trump, is out of the way. So it's like, ugh,
I think
it's cringy.
Yeah, I think Trump, if he runs again against Biden, they're not going to be able to pull out the shenanigans that they did for this last election because, number one, the rules are going to be changing. Yeah. State legislators are mostly Republican. They are going to be able to design the elections to be in their favor. They're not going to be able to pull the shenanigans. This whole we can voting by mail or through mail. There's going to be more strict regulations as far as providing correct ID, voter IDs, and a lot of these voting elections. All the swing states that have the Republican state legislators are going to be able to dictate, and they're not going to be able to do what they did in 2020.
No.
2024 is going to be completely different. And then when you factor in the Republicans taking over the House in 2022, as well as maybe even the Senate, taking back the Senate in 2022, it's going to be very, very tough for the Democrats to have any influence like they did in 2020. So that's my prediction. I think the Republicans are going to clean up in 2022. I think that Donald Trump is going to be able to run a clean election in 2024 if he does run, which I think he will. Like I said earlier, I would much rather him be a kingmaker and have DeSantis run because the media is not going to be able to have the ammo that they have on Trump with. When Trump runs, they're going to be playing that insurrection BS 24/7. They're going to bring it up. Oh, you're going to have this insurrectionist, the guy that led the insurrection, even though it's BS and even though he was proved innocent in the court of law.
They're use it against him.
They're going to still use it against him because the media they're full of demons and they lie. I don't want the media to have that ammo, which is why I'm so oh, come on, let's run DeSantis and have Trump in there as an advisor, kingmaker role. Yeah. So
I think Trump's too prideful, though.
Yeah, I think Trump's too prideful. And, I'll take what I can get. I'm going to support Trump if he does run again. Mm-hmm. I do want to say that Trump needs to definitely work on his judgment abilities or his judgment. The people around him have been atrocious. The people around him don't have his agenda or his best interest at heart. And that's what makes me upset. He has a lot more people that are against him than for him.
Yep. There's a lot of sheep in wolf's clothing, or wolves in sheep clothing.
Yeah.
In his inner circle.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And I want him to, get rid of that stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah. I tried to keep it under 2 hours this time.
Yeah.
So we just always have so much we want to say to y'all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. And thank you for joining us again. Like and subscribe, share.
Yes, thank you. Like and subscribe, share it with your friends and family. I'm Burning Spear Patriot signing off.
And I am Libby Patriot signing off.
Bye-bye.